Hi there, this is Åsa with a process video, and today I'm making a double page and I'm using a bunch of papers from Crate Paper, and it's papers from the Poolside collection and it's also papers from the Peer, and both have a couple of years on them, but I think that these papers are probably the most beautiful summer collections that's been made. I wasn't that impressed by Poolside, but oh, the Pier. When it came, I just, it was the most beautiful scrapbooking collection I've ever seen, and I loved the vintage theme. It was pretty much like, perhaps not first, but they were one of the first collections that took up the colors and the elements of that era, and I really love them, and the summer vibe is just perfect. So I'm going to just make a page with several of these papers as background. I'm going to piece them together with this wonderful umbrella print towards the left and right edges of the 12 by 24 spread. And I'm actually going to call this layout Poolside. It will be a geotag Poolside, and we didn't spend that much time by the pool because I'm pretty much a bathing kind of girl, but my hubby isn't. So we just went there a couple of times, baked ourselves in the sunshine, and I got to try out the pool and the jacuzzi. And the atmosphere there was lovely. It was such a wonderful hotel pool with like lots of sun chairs and lots of plants, and it was so clean and it was so fresh and it was just wonderful, and the weather was lovely and all the colors were just amazing. So a perfect photo opportunity. What I'm doing now here is just trying to make two 12 by 12 pages by cutting strips of these different papers. Since I'm going to cover up most of it with photos and embellishments, I don't worry at all about the edges between papers. Those will be hardly noticeable because I'm going to place photos on top. And just to spice things up a bit, I'm going to make one side of the page, the umbrella paper side, I will make that a little bit irregular. So that's what I'm doing right now. I'm cutting out a couple of the umbrellas, like a piece to place towards the right edge instead of just a long straight strip. And now I'm going to just try and see where to place these 5 photos. It's pretty much your basic or generic Poolside paper photos, and they have these wonderful colors with my towel and my sundress and the sky and the details, and mosaic details in the interior, or in this case the exterior design of the hotel. And these colors will be picked up very well by this umbrella paper, I think. And we don't have in my collection a lot of like Poolside photos. so this is pretty much a first for me. I remember back I've made a pool page with my daughter's photos of my daughter, and those were really fun to work with. I do love the colors by the pool and the water, so this is, I had a lot of fun and I really wanted it to be special. I decided to mat all the photos on white cardstock, and that you will understand that immediately because suddenly they kind of pop on the page. and I'm placing them, those that I decided that they should go together, I'm placing those just side by side. I'm taping them together before I mat them, and so there will be two larger photo pieces and then the single one with me. And I see here in the video, I see the tan lines that I have on my arm. It was really strange to get back to Sweden after this vacation, and we had so much snow. And the next day, the day after we got back, we went on a snowmobile tour. And I remember it felt really strange beneath my heavy winter jacket. I felt the sunburn. It was very strange, and yeah, not at all uncomfortable in that way, but it was strange. It felt like you went from heaven and then you just dropped into ice water. But yeah, it was the contrast in itself was special and interesting and memorable. I'm bringing out the cardstock stickers and the die cuts from the Pool collection, and also a couple of odd pieces that I had left from the pier. And I'm going to use those quite heavily on this page, and I'm going to use the frames. I love the frames. I don't have a lot of frames. I think I do have lots of Christmas frames because I've bought double packages of those. But I don't have a lot of other frames. So this time I'm going to just go crazy with frames and add some smaller photos. And these photos I printed on my home printer, and those are, I wanted to make them smaller because then you don't see that much of my grandeur. And so if I make the photo smaller, it's probably because I don't want to look bigger. But that's okay. I don't want to hide myself completely because this is how I look, but you don't need to just make things bigger than they need to be. You still see that it's me, and you still see that I am in the water. Yeah, enough about that. Recently, I've been using these home printed photos a couple of times, and that has made me realize that the quality of those is really bad. Yeah, poor quality. And when I touch them, the color rubs off. And I'm using the right ink for my printer, and I'm using the right paper for my printer. It's the brand version of paper and ink, and that is making me a bit disappointed, really, because it cost a lot, I think, and it makes me think one time extra before I decide to print photos at home. I think that I will think even more in the future when I'm ordering photos, and perhaps just use the home printer when it wasn't planned to make smaller photos. Yeah, I don't know if that sounds comprehensible or not. Anyway, I've had some thoughts about this lately, and yeah, it doesn't feel completely right, because I almost feel that they will fade over time and perhaps look really sad in a couple of years. A lot of people ask if I'm not afraid of putting tape on my photos on the backside. No, I'm not. I buy the good stuff. I buy the document safe tape, and I'm not afraid that it will stain the photos or yellow my photos from the backside. Since I'm using even wood veneers on top of my photos, and I'm gluing on top of my photos. I don't think that my tape on the backside is the largest problem if I want things to stay pristine forever. Now I don't think about those things at all. When I started scrapbooking, everyone was talking about, acid free and lignin free and so. But today I just have fun. I don't think about that at all. Those photos that rub off to the touch, those are more bothersome to me, I must say. Now I'm playing with the die cuts and the cardstock or chipboard stickers, and in the die cut package for Poolside there were a couple of wood veneers, and I'm using those, and I'm making one pink color page and one towards the blue, and placing the blue by hubby and the pink by me, and that was basically because the shorts in the die cut package, they were blue and the bikini was pink. Other than that, I'm not one of those who fuss a lot about gender specific colors. Not at all, really. It was also a little mason jar there in the die cut package. I'm using that one, and then there was this stylized old camera, and that will go next to my frames. I really like those frames. I need to make more framed photos in the future, I think. Oh, back to focus. I like that. Yeah, this page is coming to an end, and I'm really happy with the colors. Isn't it stunning? One thing that I thought of when I got this far was that my little embellishments by the photos, they got lost. So now I'm going to try and make some foundation or some, a base for my die cuts or my chipboard stickers there. So my first plan was to use another piece of pattern paper from the P collection, and I'm making circles, and that turned out really bad, but you will see that for yourself. And then later I'm going to just put a darker piece of cardstock under the die cuts. So now you will see some paper tearing, and but it will be fairly okay in the final layout. I really enjoyed this project, and I felt that this was the feeling that I wanted to get through here. And I love the bold title. I love the crisp white together with these more warmer colors, and I love that the two different shades of blue and pool color teal that they form a background to this page. I'm happy that I went with these bold colors towards the edges, but I don't think that they take anything away from the photos. It doesn't. It doesn't become messy or anything like that. Just fun and colorful. By having the colors towards the edges, I think that I'm making it easier for the eye to pick up the photos in the middle of the page. Yeah, I saved the day with that beautiful colored cardstock there, and it goes well together with the upper portion of the paper that I have as a background. Pretty. And here is the finished page. I added a little gold arrow there, and other than that I don't think that I have failed to mention anything. Pretty and colorful and sunshiny. And here are some close-ups of the finished page. I love how the colors in the frame there picks up on the umbrella paper. That frame that is very colorful, it's also from the Peer collection. The other frame is from the Poolside collection. These are happy days, and I'm happy to have these in my album. Thank you so much for watching. See you soon. Take care. This is Åsa. Bye.